love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, family. So I'm back, and to pick up where I left off at, as I was saying, we have to prove that we are better than the people who are mismanaging our national resources, our trade agreement with them. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, all swamp monsters need to go. And I'm here to tell you it's time for you to exit stage rice, East Coast, back to the Albion nation, back to England, back to your true lords.
Stop it. Get some help.
So nevertheless, like I said, this isn't a hate video. All like Empress of the Moorish American consulate stated, we are willing to share our land with all honorable, lawful foreigners. But if you don't have no honor, if you don't have no nobility, expect to be treated accordingly, because we don't have any time to continue to play around with you lawless ass pilgrims. And I excuse my French for coming off as hard as I'm coming off, but I have to come off as hard as I am because I have to be and take this militant stance in order to protect myself and those that I love. Because we're not going to play around with you pilgrim debtors any longer. Is that overstood?
Excuse me, sir, but what in the doohickey are you talking about? And no, what you just said is not overstood. I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. All you're doing is ranting and raving about a bunch of nonsense. This is the result of a brain on Moorish science. Ladies and gentlemen, just like they said in the 80s, don't do drugs. Well, now we're in 2022. Don't do Moorish science.
So next pilgrim that hop up on my mother, get in my comment section, expect to be annihilated socially and politically. Okay? So yeah, I would suggest. And lastly, family, the last topic I really wanted to touch on is these dishonorable ass motherfuckers that are in our families who have taken these oaths of silence to their sins and expect for us to be able to maneuver through when they're not properly guiding us. You feel me? And some of them are okay with cutting off communication and leaving us in the dark as to who we truly are. And when we find out who the we truly are, it is within our same duty not to turn the other cheek on their ass, but to treat them the same way they motherfuckers treated us. So with that being said, I've had countless of experiences in the community that I live in the LGBT community, with dating or speaking with men who have worked in the military. And the stories that I've heard, the dishonorable discharging, the fact that these motherfuckers can't go out and get a job, otherwise they'll be penalized and lose their veterans checks. That is control. That is oppression. That is the level of control that we're dealing with by narcissists who are representing us in Congress. Do you understand that? That is why it is so important for us as millennials to get it right this time and put Donald Trump back into office to do the work that we need for him to do for the next 4 years.
Say what?
6 years if you want to get technical. So with that being stated, like I said, if by the midterm elections y'all don't do what the I need to do, I'm turning my back against y'all hoes, and guess what? Y'all can kiss my mother ass, because guess what? What's for me is going to always be for me. And I have the knowledge to ensure that. Not many of you do. And I'm tired of people looking at me and looking up to me to defend them when they refuse to defend themselves. You must first learn to arm yourself with truth and knowledge. And until you know who the you are up here and who you are down here, can't nothing nobody says to you help you. I want to make sure that that is understood for all men and women who are Aborigines, black, quote, unquote, African American, quote, unquote, Latino, quote, unquote, because we were all the same people before 1492. So unless y'all want to stay miserable, it's time to cut the motherfucking race pride. It's time to cut off all the ignorant and it's time to truly be about your community. No more allowing for leeches to hide in our communities. No more time to allow for sex offenders to use the internet to get to our young heirs. So again, to all you in the military who knew about maritime law and you did nothing to prevent your heirs, your cousins, your aunties from being oppressed by other people who cling to that maritime jurisdiction, you're just like the rest of them, in my opinion. Now again, who am I to judge you? A lot of y'all, only God can judge me. Well, guess what? In this Moorish life, we are all gods, and we are all going to judge each other accordingly by our integrity, by our moral values, and by the things that we choose to put out into the universe. Because remember, what you put out comes back times 3. Peace and love to all the witches out there. Blessed be. Mwah.
Okay, so that rant this Moorish sovereign citizen just went on made absolutely no sense. And the only advice I can give everyone is don't do Moorish science. It will actually hurt your brain more than drugs.